Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters a basket of deplorables. Now Joe Biden is calling us chumps. Democrats and other left-wingers actually thought President Trump was talking about real coyotes at Thursday's debate. Plus, Judge Amy Coney Barrett moves one step closer to confirmation. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start with Joe Biden because he, like all these Democrats, they talk about being the party of inclusion and tolerance, yet they are the most exclusive and intolerant bunch that there is. Remember the recent women's marches? Well, it's not for all women. If you're pro-life, you're not allowed. If you're conservative, you're not allowed. If you're pro-Trump, you're not allowed. A woman made news recently at one of those marches because she wore a pro-Trump t-shirt and she was beaten up by other women. That is not a women's march. That is a left-wing radical march that they just throw this name on there. And yet, that's what the Democrats say. They say they're the party of diversity and inclusion and tolerance. Yet they go out of their way to put down, to shun, to denigrate Trump supporters. Remember 2016? This was Hillary Clinton.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right?
Wow, that's really going to bring people together. And then back in June, now we go to Joe Biden. He basically wrote off 10 to 15% of the entire population.
There are probably anywhere from 10 to 15% of the people out there that are just not very good people.
So what is that? That's 30 to 45 million people that Joe Biden says are just bad news, that they're not good people. And you know what he means? He means they're Trump supporters. That's what he's trying to say with his coded language. It's outrageous. And then Joe Biden has this problem with the minority community. It's so funny that President Trump gets called a racist when if you actually look at their words and their actions, Joe Biden has a very suspect record. He has very big problems with the Latino and Black communities, especially the Black community with some of the expressions, some of the things he's said lately, where if you are Black and you want to vote for Trump, it's not that you have a difference of opinion. It's not that something that we can disagree on. Nope, you ain't Black is what he said, just for people that support President Trump. Then this weekend, he had his own Hillary Clinton deplorables moment.
And by the way, we don't do things like those chumps out there with a microphone are doing, the Trump guys. It's about decency.
It's about decency? Hillary Clinton calls us a basket of deplorables. Joe Biden calls us chumps. He's called someone a lying dog-faced pony soldier. He confronted another person to basically fight him, wanted to take one guy at a plant out in the back and fight him. This is decency? This is Joe Biden, who's supposed to be the person to bring everybody together? And then, forget about that, there's also this corruption. The corruption, the influence, the pay for play that is being revealed in Hunter Biden's emails, on and on and on, text messages that show Joe Biden was involved in meetings in Ukraine and China. He's involved in this neck deep, yet he's supposed to be the one to bring us together. And he's calling people lying dog-faced pony soldiers and chumps. That's Joe Biden. That's who the media is pushing to bring people together. Folks, you got to tell your friends, you got to tell your colleagues to look at the real Joe Biden. He has a problem in the minority community. He has a problem with Trump supporters. He doesn't want to bring people together. He wants this small, narrow margin that will vote for him just so he can get elected. If you see President Trump out there, he's talking to all people. His economic plans have raised everybody up, and that's how he describes it. Yet Joe Biden, like a typical left-wing Democrat, talks about interest group to try and piece a coalition together just for power. That's Joe Biden calling us chumps. All right, so next, let's move on to some reaction from Thursday's debate. But first, if you're new to the show or haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified. We're making our push for 100,000 subscribers by Election Day. 100K by Election Day. We need less than 3,000, folks, and we can do it with your help. All right, let's talk about some reaction, some follow-up to Thursday's debate. We had a great post-debate analysis show. You guys can check it out right here. And there is one reaction that I didn't even cover that night because it took a little while to develop. I think Democrats were scratching their head, but it's very revealing on how Democrats will just jump without even thinking. They'll just post without saying to themselves, is this absolutely ridiculous? I'm going to post it anyway. So on the topic of immigration, illegal immigration, President Trump was questioned about the 500 plus kids that are still in the country and their parents are nowhere to be found. Here's President Trump's comments.
The United States can't locate the parents of more than 500 children. So how will these families ever be reunited?
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here and they used to use them to get into our country.
All right, so when I listened to that, I followed right along. I know the president's policy on border security. I know his policy on illegal immigration. And I'm familiar with the terms used, not just because I live in Texas and we face these border issues, but because I follow the issues in general. And again, I know President Trump's border security policy. I know his policy on illegal immigration. I'm familiar with the terms because I listen to the news. All right, well, listen to this part again. This is, again, President Trump, which seemed to just cause the Democrats to not know what was going on.
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people.
Okay, children are brought here by coyotes and other bad people. That's what President Trump said. So you are familiar with the term coyotes in this reference. It is the smugglers, the people that are paid to bring people across the border, families, children, adults. Those are coyotes. But say you were struck with that term, you didn't know what it meant. Well, so maybe you go on to Google and you just do coyote illegal immigration. Here's what pops up. The very first entry, coyote, person. A coyote is a person paid by migrants to illegally guide or assist them, blah, blah. Next, analysis of migrant smuggling. Next, what it costs to be smuggled. So you get the idea. Yet there were Democrats out there who thought President Trump was talking about real, actual coyotes. It's like our version of the dingo.
The dingo took my baby!
Yep, the dingo, or in this case, coyotes took my baby. That's what Democrats and other left-wingers were thinking, without even doing a basic search, without even saying, what does that mean before I get on Twitter? Here is Democrat Georgia State Rep Darshan Kendrick. This is what she tweeted. Did real Donald Trump just say 545 kids they can't find their parents for came over through cartels and coyotes? How the hell does a coyote bring a whole human across the border? Lord, stop talking. Hashtag final debate. What can you even say to that? And here's another one. Here's another tweet. Oh my word. What children are being brought here by coyotes, you loon? How about another one? There's more. There's a lot more. Here's one more. I don't think the comment of these children will be brought here by coyotes, so you know, is the strongest argument here. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, there's radical David Hogg, who thinks that to be a young leftist, you have to throw profanity in everything you say because that makes you so much smarter. Well, he didn't have profanity in this one, but check out his tweet. Imagine calling the immigrant parents that bring their children to the United States for a better life coyotes. The level of xenophobia is sickening. What an idiot. We're not talking about the parents. We're talking about the smugglers. It's outrageous, folks. And let's talk about these 500 kids that are still here, okay? Because if ever you were lost at, say, Astroworld here in Houston or Six Flags across the country, they don't send out search parties for the parents. They keep the kids safe knowing that the parents will come to them. Yet President Trump is asking, what are you doing to find these parents? If there are parents, they should be looking for the child, and they know exactly where these children are. They're being held safe. They're being taken care of. They're being given every kind of comfort that they can. The parents know where they are. It's up to the parents to just pick them up. This idea is outrageous that you have to search for the parents. Would you leave your child and just go back and not try and get them? And yet this is how he's questioned. The parents know where the kids are. They either weren't their real parents or they have no interest in getting them. That's the simple facts, folks. All right, next, let's talk about Judge Amy Coney Barrett, because the Democrats have been trying everything, absolutely everything, to stop that nomination, to stop the progress, and yet she is moving closer and closer to confirmation. It may actually happen today, and here's the story. Republicans overcame Democrats' attempt to filibuster Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett on Sunday, putting her on the path to confirmation late Monday and delivering another key piece in President Trump's 2016 promise to remake the federal judiciary. Senators voted 51-48 to head off the filibuster attempt, with 2 Republicans joining Democrats in objecting to the rush toward confirmation. It takes only a majority vote to end a filibuster on nominees. All right, so leading up to this vote, as I mentioned, the Democrats tried a number of tactics. The first thing is they didn't even show up for the Senate Judiciary Committee vote to vote her out of committee. They boycotted it. They didn't show up at all. But a simple rules change, procedural change, allowed the Republicans who are present to vote her out. They had the majority there. She's voted out of committee. That boycott was just dumb, didn't accomplish anything. Then Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, tried a number of other procedural tricks. Those didn't work either. So then he was left with the filibuster. Democrats' final move was to try to mount a filibuster Sunday, and they got support from Republican Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. But they still fell 2 votes shy of the majority needed to be successful. Mr. Schumer said Republicans were exercising raw political power. Confirming a lifetime appointment this late in the presidential election season is outrageous, he said. So, you had Murkowski and Collins join with the Democrats to prolong the filibuster, to prolong debate, to not cut it off. What's interesting is that Murkowski recently came out and said she will vote to confirm Judge Barrett. She will vote to confirm her. Susan Collins is still going to be a no vote. She said she is voting against the confirmation of Judge Barrett. But now that the filibuster has been ended, debate has been ended, it can now move to the floor for a full Senate vote. And that is likely to come later on today. And we could have, instead of Judge Amy Coney Barrett, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. And what a win for President Trump, the American people, and anyone that holds the Constitution dear. If you don't like the Constitution, there are ways to change it, but you can't make it up as you go along. You can't pretend that the Supreme Court or any court is just another extension of the legislative branch, because it's not. And people like Amy Coney Barrett understand that. President Trump certainly understands that. And we're well on our way to having a court that reflects that slowly but surely. All right, so next, let's talk about Joe Biden and some of the statements he made in this debate and along the way through his entire campaign that are really getting a lot of scrutiny. And that is because he has come out so anti-energy, anti-fossil fuel, anti-oil, anti-fracking, and now he's trying to backtrack from it. Oh no, I never said that. Oh no, I don't want to get rid of fracking. Oh no, I'm not going to wipe out the oil industry, which is what he said. He's basically saying, I'm coming for your jobs. We're going to get rid of this because I'm beholden to AOC and the Green New Deal and leftist radicals. I'm just trying to be cool about it. That's Joe Biden. Well, he's backtracked so much that CNN's own fact checker, the fact checker at CNN, is even calling him out. And here's the story. CNN star fact checker Daniel Dale broke with precedent by offering multiple rulings against Joe Biden over claims the former vice president made during Thursday's final presidential debate. Dale, who has become famous in liberal circles for his marathon fact checks on President Trump, appeared on CNN's post-debate coverage to discuss an intense exchange when Trump pressed Biden for opposing fracking. So This must have pained Dale so much to come out and actually fact-check Joe Biden, but he did, and here's more of the story. Dale appeared bewildered as he was about to credit the president for being accurate on the issue. So in this case, Trump is correct. Biden did make anti-fracking comments in 2019 and 2020, and Trump was not lying, Dale told anchor Anderson Cooper. The CNN fact-checker also challenged Biden's claim that no one single person lost their health insurance after Obamacare took effect. Biden was flat wrong when he declared last night that not one single person lost their private insurance under Obamacare. This was litigated at great length during the Obama presidency, Dale tweeted on Friday. Yeah, remember, if you like your health plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep it. We later learned that they knew that was a lie all along, yet they kept pushing it, and we saw rates went up, choice went down. You couldn't keep your plan in many cases. You couldn't keep your doctor in many cases, yet they pushed it anyway, and now Joe Biden is trying to backtrack on that. I know his team wants to keep a lid on everything, keep him quiet, and no wonder, because when he talks, he makes a mess of things. So that's our show for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching, and before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified, and here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.